Hi everyone, I'm here with a review of the Stihl KM90R trimmer and edger. So today I'll go over the price, the functionality, and my personal thoughts that I've had on the equipment after having it for the past couple of weeks. So without further ado, let's get started. So the KM90R is a combi system, which means that you buy the engine separate from the different attachments or ends that you want. So that means whatever you want to buy, there's 14 different attachments. You could have a trimmer, you can have an edger, you can have a cultivator, a pruner, a leaf blower. There's so many different options that you can have with this system, but those are just a couple to name for now. So the engine for this starts out at $300. It is a bit pricey, but let me explain this to you in a kind of simplified way. So you buy the engine, right, and then you buy whatever attachments you want. So let's say if you wanted to buy a trimmer, let's say an FS 90 trimmer, 90R trimmer, you're buying the back, the engine, and you're buying the head, the trimmer, right? All together, they're able to give you that at a separate discounted price compared to if you bought just the engine and just the head. So if you're looking just for a trimmer, you'd want to go buy that trimmer. You wouldn't want to buy the combi system. Here's where the combi system comes in handy though. You buy the engine, right? And let's say you want an edger to go along with that. All right. So now you have the trimmer head and now you have the edger head. All right. So to buy each of those costs you more than what it costs you to just buy the combi system and then the different head attachments. So what I have the trimmer head and the edger head, obviously. And so for me to buy each of those as separate pieces of equipment didn't cost me as much as it would if I bought the full piece of equipment, the edger that came with the engine already, or the trimmer that came with the edger already. Alright, so those two attachments helped me save a little bit of money in the long run. It's under the professional grade, alright? And so far I haven't had any problems with it, but that's just a look at the prices. The straight shaft trimmer cost about $100 and it weighs about 3 pounds, so the front of the head is a little bit heavy, but I mean compared to the back end it really isn't that bad. Alright, and if you went ahead and got the curved shaft trimmer, it'd be $60 and it weighs about 1.5 pounds, just the head itself. So depending on if you're looking at weight, it's really not that big of a difference between the two. But let me get into something that really separates whether you want the straight shaft or the curved shaft trimmer. Straight shaft trimmers get into places a lot easier. I work a lot around different play equipment and along different pine trees and stuff, and I found myself before, whenever I had a curved shaft trimmer, I was having to crawl into those pine trees just to get into the grass, the few stragglers that were growing down there. And so that made it kind of difficult trying to get all those, as well as climbing through the tree. You're getting poked and all sorts of stuff. The other thing, one of my houses has a playground equipment in the back, and the grass is growing in the playground equipment where the monkey bars are, where your ladder is to go up. So in order for me to get in there, I can't get it in there with my curved shaft trimmer, but I can with the straight shaft. Alright, so versatility, you're better off getting a straight shaft trimmer rather than the curved shaft if you're worried about the amount of work that you're trying to get. So let's say you're worried about weight, it would be better to go ahead and get the curved shaft trimmer. Right? Both of these trimmers that I have, I believe the other one is an FS 75. I might put that on the screen if it's different, but if not, that's what it is. It's a homeowners edition, and it has enough horsepower for you to do a single lawn, your own lawn. But if you're wanting to do more than that, and you're a professional landscaper like I am, you have to have that equipment, that durability, to know that that equipment's going to work at every yard you go to. And I found that this straight shaft head has been a lot more useful than the curved shaft. Alright, another thing I should say about this combi system that I have, the KM90R, is that it's the entry level combi system engine. Alright, they have two others that are in the combi system that each get a little bit more powerful. Just the engine, alright, all the attachments are still the same, but the engines do get more powerful. I have found that the regular edger does tend to bog down in muddy conditions, I guess. after a rain and you go through and try and edge and it hasn't been edged in a while, it will bog down just because of the lack of power and how much mud and grass and other debris gets inside the edger. So if you're wanting to do anything more powerful, I definitely recommend upgrading or buying one of the larger engines. The other thing that I would also recommend you do is if you are wanting to put in a bed edge, meaning if you're going to put in mulch around any of your mulch beds, all right, you dig down, right? You can do that with a shovel, but if you have a lot of property that you're wanting to do and you're doing this professionally, buy the bed edger with the largest powered engine, all right? Nothing against Stihl and their engine capabilities, but this entry level KM90R is not equipped or doesn't have enough power to power through that. Let me get on to the edger. All right, so my edger costs about $100. All right, that's for the curved lawn edger. They do make the straight lawn edger. I believe that's $160 to $180 rather than $100. I found that this is useful for professional landscapers if you're wanting to. If you show up to a property, a new house, and they've never had their lawn edge before, that would be perfect for you to go ahead and buy that. You should go along there, edge it, get it all looking good, right? And then to keep up with the maintenance on it, then you can just use your trimmer, all right? You don't have to have an edger to put an edge on a lawn. You can use your trimmer just as easily as you could an edger, all right? It takes a little bit of getting used to, but that way you don't have to constantly run back and forth to the truck or your trailer or wherever your equipment is just to grab the edger and go along and edge. While you're going around and trimming your property, you can go ahead and edge at the same time with your trimmer. So this is just, if it was for home care, all right, and if you had a lot of property, I'd recommend you going ahead and getting that edger, but if not, you'd be able to do a lot of that with just the line trimmer. All right, so that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and hope this helped you guys out. And if you have any further questions, let me know. Thanks.